Stuart, is there a way that businesses can assess whether or not they could or should move certain services onto the cloud and maybe what it would cost?
I think some could. There are a lot of organisations out there with very weighty and skilled IT organisations. I think what we bring to the party is we often, because you can have in a large or even a small organisation, lots of pockets of data or technologies scattered around either geographically or within one single building. I think a third party coming in and working with the organisation allows you to assess maybe from a more independent view, because even within organisations, you'll find certain IT silos will have ownership of what they've built and what technology they've got. And I think it's important, for the business as a whole, to be able to run a skillful, process-driven assessment. Now, we do this day in, day out. Now, not many organisations will be doing an in-depth analysis of their own environments on a daily basis. We do it for a myriad of organisations, from large multinational telecoms providers, large finance houses, down to small SMB businesses with 5 or 6 offices around the world, that may have what on the face of it seems a very small requirement. So having done that, we actually architect an analysis process with our clients. So there's a defined timeline on the scale of what we're going to do. There's a deliverable at the end of it, which is, this is what you've got now. This is the assessment of your present requirement. These are the workloads, the technologies that you're working with and want to work with. And by the way, here's a recommendation that a large chunk of that could go into a public cloud environment and save your business up to 30% of its operating cost.
I suppose it's always important with any type of technology in a business is a skills gap, and plenty of companies out there will have skills gap with their cloud technologies. How, what can they do about that?
From Bell's perspective, we approach it in two ways. One is, the if technology can be traditional, it is the traditional way of helping manage the service and manage the migration. So providing professional services to an organization to allow them to move from A to B and move their workloads and technology to the cloud. The second part of that is, some organizations may decide that they want to be managing that environment themselves and managing the migration themselves. So we will put professional services, project management, but also education facilities for the IT piece to upskill them to where they need to be. We can provide third-party training through around specific technologies, be it a cloud provider or a hardware provider or an application provider, and even down to networking. So we work with our partners to deliver training, accreditation, etc., to make sure that you're also compliant in the environment. Or you can hand the whole thing over to Bell and we'll do it for you, running alongside your existing IT infrastructure and IT department, but actually managing your cloud infrastructure on your behalf.
Stuart, what about impacting services both post and during a migration? Can we stop it?
Yeah, that's another very valuable question. Being honest, it can be very disruptive, or has the potential to be very disruptive. You know, it's a very obvious statement, but the majority of businesses and companies worldwide run their business and sit on an infrastructure that is, absolutely vital to keeping their business going. The last 12 months has shown us that people are now even more dependent, where you've got large utilities still with their call center staff being based from home, reliant on disparate technologies to actually function. So to suddenly say we're going to pick this one piece of technology up, this one basis of your entire business, and take it from one place to another is never going to be simple. So as part of the assessment and the proposal process, and as I mentioned earlier, the professional services side, it's building a strong project plan alongside your business. It's not dictating this is what we're going to do and when we're going to do it. It's understanding that some businesses, fortunately for us, maybe effectively close down over weekends, so we can schedule the majority of the hard yards to be done during downtimes within the business. It may be that we look at more seasonal areas for doing migrations, where say you're a retailer that has a high peak at Christmas, you're probably not going to want to do your major migration in November or December of that year. So it's a case of assessing the potential business impact, and mitigating any risk. And there are various technical solutions we can bring to bear on that as well, which may involve, potentially putting somewhere for a short period of time before we move it ultimately, or running applications in parallel, so you've still got the service to your customer. And one of the advantages of cloud, which we mentioned earlier, is actually we could spin up a new environment, test it, make sure everything's work, and then switch over while your existing environment is still working. So again, and once we've done that, we can just turn the other workload off, so you're not running two workloads at the same time. So I guess the actual project management and migration is an illustration of the flexibility of what cloud can give to a business.